My entire trading strategy in a nutshell. Let's get into it because this is a trading strategy that I use every single day, but I've been trading for over 8 years now. This is the same trading strategy that we talk about in the Moneyball trading program that's helping traders consistently make money and going off to become funded traders. So let's get straight into it. We are going to look at trade reviews, some trade ideas, and a trade that I will probably get into. So let's get into it. I appreciate if you guys like this video, subscribe, and if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. So the first thing that I do, it doesn't matter if you trade crypto, if you trade stocks, currencies, whatever. The first thing I will always do, depending on the different time frame sequences, I will primarily use the daily or the 4 hour as my higher time frame. I will pop that image on the screen because I know it's a commonly asked questions. What time frame sequences do you recommend? Swing trading or day trading? What are the time frame sequences? You will see that on your screen right now. So feel free to take a picture, send it to your mom, send it to your friend. It's up to you. So the first thing that I am looking at is I am looking at my higher time frame. Because I primarily look at the daily and the 4 hour, I'm more focused on smaller time frame trades. I'm going to be looking here at the daily. So because I trade the supply and demand methodology, the whole concept of this methodology is to identify where the big money is buying and selling at. And we can see that by supply and demand zones. So I first need to identify where these institutions, the big money, came in and had a lot of buying or selling pressure. And I can identify these areas. We're going to talk about other areas as well, but we have that supply zone. We have this demand zone down here. We also have demand from down here, and we got some supply up in there. Those are all areas that I see where big money came into the markets. You can kind of see that by the strong imbalances to the downside over here or to the upside like this. So that indicates to me that a lot of buy orders or sell orders came in during that time. So hopefully, if and when prices pull back into these areas, I want to be looking for buying or selling opportunities. Now, because we have prices that just reached our higher time frame daily supply zone, I then want to drop down into a smaller time frame and wait for something called confirmation. That's going to be an indication that buyers or sellers are stepping into the market, and that's when I can look to join into the trade. So once I have identified my zones, like we said, supply and demand down here, I want to go down into my smaller time frame. So now I go down to my smaller time frame. In this case, we're going to look at probably the 1 hour or the 4 hour, and I want to identify some certain areas. This is the area of confirmation. Now, I have broken down this strategy a lot in a lot of my tips videos. So in fact, if you actually went to my YouTube channel and you went to playlist, and then you click on the tips playlist, this is the full supply and demand methodology, hours upon hours, breaking down the whole system, hour and a half long video, breaking down the full methodology of the supply and demand, little nuances of the strategy. So if you are trying to take this strategy serious, I strongly recommend you guys check that out. Okay, so let's get back into it. I saw prices going back up into my area of supply. I saw evidence of structure being removed, that being opposing demand zones being removed, breaking momentum lines. Here, I'll scroll in so you guys can see, as well as we have a very strong imbalance to the downside. Now, I don't want to sell once prices have this big, strong close or down here. I'm waiting for prices to pull back up into that area of supply. So I will mark out my zone and I'll probably set an alert so I don't have 20 or 30 pending orders on different markets sitting there and I potentially get liquidated from some crazy news announcement that comes out. So what I'll do is I'll just right click, maybe add an alert on CAD Swiss. And then if and when prices pull back, maybe within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, I will look to enter the sell signal back up into this area of supply. And once prices touch this area of supply right here, that's when I will be entering my trade with a stop loss, say above, let's go somewhere around up here probably, risking 0.5 to maybe 1% on that. And ideally, I'm getting out at 2 to 1, maybe 3 to 1. There's obviously, you can stretch it out to multiple take profits. That's going to take way too much time, but I do break it down, like I said, the little nuances in that video. So that's something that I'll be waiting for. Let's talk about a couple trade reviews, so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do here. Now, this would work on every other market that you guys are thinking of, crypto stocks. We could look at a stock example for you guys, but that's ideally what I'd be looking for, wanting prices to return back up in there in a strong fashion. Okay, I don't want to see prices grinding up there. I want to see price move up there strongly. Okay, so let's talk about gold. Gold was a short example from earlier this week, and this was the analysis. We had prices going back up into this area of supply on a higher time frame, which was in my case a 1 hour time frame for this time frame sequence. So I was using the 1 hour time frame. Prices were coming back up into this area of where a lot of sellers came in. And don't get me wrong, guys, if prices pull back into that demand, I think it's a great little demand zone that I'd be looking for buying opportunities if that's not already a trade setup. Yeah, it's a good little demand zone. Same thing in here is it's a great little demand zone. Some people might be looking to buy the whole zone straight up. Some people might go down to a smaller time frame and wait for the evidence of buyers stepping in. So what I did here on this one was prices came back up into my area of supply, and I went down to a 15-minute time frame, and I waited for the evidence of sellers coming into the market. And what did I see by that? I saw, once again, structure, breaking upward trend lines, removing opposing pivot point zones right here. This was being removed, and we sold the pullback back up into this area of supply, getting out at a 2-to-1 take profit, which was down in here. Now, if I was going for more than a 2-to-1, I would probably get out down in this general area before that opposing demand zone that we marked out, we talked about a minute ago. Now, I would probably be getting stopped out because after prices went 2-to-1, it reversed. So I'd probably be getting out at break even if I only went for that lower take profit. But for this trade, out at 2-to-1, if you went for multiple take profits, maybe you get out at 2-to-1, then move your stop to break even, then you get stopped out on your second position. There's many different ways that you could do this. Okay, let's talk about another example. This is one currently in Aussie CAD. This is a, how should I explain this one? Daily time frame. So we start on our daily, could be daily or 4 hour. We had price coming back up into my area of supply. Some people also might see this as resistance as well, maybe like a breakout retest of this general area, which is always a bonus. And then we went down into my 1 hour time frame, and we talk about the same thing. I want to see structure being removed. I want to see upward trend lines being broken. I want to see opposing pivot point zones being removed. I want to see a strong indication of sellers coming in. I don't want to see prices grinding down. Like, notice here how prices are grinding up right here. If prices were grinding down like that, that really doesn't indicate to me that a lot of sellers came in. So I want to see candlesticks like this that move in a very strong fashion. Okay. And then the sell is back up in this area, it's like up there. I took the upper portion. You know what? You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but as long as it's inside my higher time frame zone, I'm not trading counter trend. I don't want to be trading counter trend because statistically those trades don't work as well as if I'm trading with the higher time frame trend or in a sideways market. But I will have every single little thing besides that. The structure break, strong quality zone, and statistically over the long run, they will play out in my favor. Okay, let's look at another example. Do I have a picture of this? Oh, what's this? 6-month returns. Oh, this is right. I posted this on my social media. This is what's been going on over the last 6 months. Year to date, what has been the best performer and the worst performer? The NASDAQ up 30%. That's pretty good, eh? It's going on a crazy run so far. Natural gas down 50%. That's a lot for so far 6 months into 2023. Bitcoin is leading the pack at up 60%. That's pretty incredible. Gold up 8% overall. So that's just something I post on my social media every couple months, updating people on, what the other markets are doing, what's performing, what's not performing. So yeah, NASDAQ is doing really well. What do you guys actually think? That's a question for you guys. What do you think the next best investment is for the remainder of 2023? You think Bitcoin's going to continue on? You think gold's going to rally up? And you guys could always add indicators to this if you're like, I want to try something out with an indicator. Feel free to do that. If you want to wait for more confirmation, like a reversal candlestick, you guys can do that too. Like an example was corn was, let me break this down. I think it was a 4 hour time frame, and I was selling this zone, and I'm getting into this trade on the pullback back into this once it hits this area right there what I'm pointing to. Maybe you're somebody that wants to wait for like this reversal candlestick to be printed and then you join the trend and then you start getting short. That's valid as well. Just make sure you take 20 or 30 trades and make sure they're all the same trade setups, and then review to see statistically is there a difference when I do have it versus I don't have it. And it's the same thing with indicators. Maybe you line up 20 trades or 30 trades with the Bollinger Bands or against the Bollinger Bands or whatever, or no correlation with the indicator, and see if there's a difference, because that's going to let you know if you can create a better trading strategy or if it's not really doing anything, maybe even hurting your trading strategy. So that's why I always say you make sure you journal your trades, take 30, 40 trades, review, see if you would have done this, what do your winners have in common? Can you make a better trading strategy? And so on and so on. That's why it's important to journal, review, and create a better trading strategy. And there is an ebook completely. If you guys want more on this, like I said, that tips video playlist will be in the description below, but also a whole ebook breaking down the strategy as well for anybody that goes through the masterclass at moneyballtrading.com. That will be in the description below. Get your free little ebook completely there. So you can check that out down below. And if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. Reach out to me on social media at Moneyball Austin. And I appreciate if you guys like this video, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.